Welcome back everyone, I'm Mark Rothhuizen-Vries, CEO of Nextstep Projects, and today we're going to focus onto the climate strategy of an organization. As you know, your climate strategy is essential and is one of the key pillars into your organization. If you look over the years, climate has taken the forefront into strategy. And this time, as Nextstep Projects, we're going to look into how that climate strategy has impacted organizations through the different years. Climate strategy is essential to really drive from compliance to purpose. As we know, and in this series I will be joined by Cesar Carreño, our climate lead of Nextstep Projects. He will be going into the deep end of what it means to go through climate strategy, meaning from what does it mean to measure your Scope 3 emissions? How are you going to measure your Scope 3 emissions? How are you going to look at climate risk assessments? And also, lastly, how are we going to look into voluntary and mandatory reporting? Of course, we have CDP, we have CSRD, we have all these frameworks, of course, joining our realm. What does that mean for you? And that's what we want to reach with this series. One of the questions that I can imagine is on top of your mind, where do I start with this climate strategy? Because most of our clients have already started actually implementing the strategy without setting the strategy. So that's why I want to get you through these points today. So it's once and for all, you can just fact check if all these steps are into your strategy. If you set up your strategy, start with your baseline. So have a fact check if the baseline is present, because that baseline is what you're going to, of course, compare year on year if reduction is there. Second is to set your targets and identify your hotspots. Do you know exactly where you have the biggest emissions? Yes or no? And this is, of course, by measuring your Scope 1, 2, or 3 emissions that you can identify these. And please set your targets with management, with your directors team. Afterwards, you will proceed by, of course, implementing your actions and setting up your projects. Think about, of course, your supply engagement programs, think about buying renewable energy, and of course, potentially setting up some other reductions that, of course, are necessary for your organization. Afterwards, of course, you're going to start disclosing and communicating about these elements. Disclosing can be, of course, going from a sustainability report, can go through CDP, and of course, your communication is where we see is the most tricky part, because now suddenly you need to collaborate with other teams, such as your marketing team, in order to communicate about it. Afterwards, you're going to start monitoring all these elements, all these steps that you've done into a program. This can be through an Excel, this can go through software. This is super crucial to keep monitoring this on a monthly, quarterly, or yearly basis. That is your choice, how, of course, you want to make it relevant for your organization. Last but not least, you know where we go. Then we start measuring again, and from that measurement, we go back to compare your baseline, and on and on and on, we go through all these steps. So again, please keep in mind these steps, because these are going to be the basis of your climate strategy. Cesar is going to get you through the next components, but please thank you very much for watching and hope that you can get through this checklist of your climate strategy.